Welcome into the video. I'm your tech guy Wayne, and today I'm bringing you my full new user guide on the Tmobile Revvl 7. This is basically a compilation of every video that I've shot on this phone. I'm going to walk you through just all the things you would need to know to get up to speed with using this phone. So make sure you watch all the way to the end so you don't miss any important information. In the video, I'll go over my beginner's walkthrough of the phone, which is navigating the phone, downloading apps, setting a lock on your phone, setting up email, how to make calls, send text messages, all of that. Then I'll go into some helpful tips and tricks. From there, we'll go into how to take a screenshot and how to print. Then I'll walk you through how to troubleshoot the phone in case you run into any issues, and then we'll end with how to factory reset the phone. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. I want to take you through a beginner's walkthrough of the Tmobile Revvl 7 phone. I'm going to walk you through everything you'll need to know to learn how to use this phone. We're going to start with going over just the exterior of the phone. So on the left side of the phone, you will find just the SIM card tray. Now, if you have a memory card from an older phone, you can also put it in this slot as well. On the right side of the phone here, you will find the volume up, volume down, and the power button. Okay, and then at the bottom of the phone, you will find your auxiliary headphone jack, your charging port, which is called a USB-C or Type-C port, and you've got your speaker grill right here. If you need to replace the charger or the cable, you need to look for a USB-C charging cable, and I'll link one in the description in case you ever need a longer one or a different one. Okay, to turn the phone on or to wake it up, you simply are going to press that button on the side, the pink button. Pressing it once will wake up the phone. Now just take your finger, put it on the screen, and just drag up. That's how you unlock the phone. Now right now there is no passcode on the phone, but later on in the video I will show you how to set a passcode so that no one can just pick up your phone and get into it and look at your personal files. You'll have a code you'll have to put in each time that will basically protect all your data. Okay, so this is the main screen. This is called the home screen. Okay, and this is where you'll find shortcuts to a lot of your apps. And I want to show you a really quick tweak that you should make that will make the phone easier to use. Right now you have this little white bar at the bottom, and the phone is in what's called gesture mode. And unfortunately, gesture mode is not the easiest to use. So follow these steps to get rid of this little bar and get some easy buttons that are called just the Android home buttons. It'll make it easier to navigate the screen. So we're going to take your finger and drag it, start at the top of the screen and drag down, and then do it again, drag down, and that's going to bring up your settings shortcut button. We're going to tap on that button. This will take us to our settings menu, and we're going to drag up all the way until we see the system option. Tap on system, and then tap on gestures, and then tap on navigation mode. And from here, we're gonna tap on the button next to 3-button navigation. When we tap this, we will now have these 3 buttons at the bottom of the screen, and this will make it much easier for you to navigate the phone. This first button here is called the home button. Tapping on this will take you back to the home screen. No matter what you're doing, tapping that home button will take you back to this screen. Now, to the left, you have what is called the back button. This always takes you back one step. So I'm going to go back to the settings here, and I just want to show you how that back button works. Now, if you remember, let's retrace our steps here. We went to System, Gestures, and Navigation Mode. Now, I'm deep into the menu of the settings. If I want to go back one page, I can tap on this arrow all the way in the corner, or I can just tap my back button, and that'll take me back one page. Now, if I want to keep going back one page, hit the back button. Okay, press it again. And you can keep pressing that back button until you get to the main page of the app. And now if I press it again, it will take us out of the app. So all this does, it just helps us go back one step. And you're really going to use it primarily when you're in a menu and you're just trying to go back 1 or 2 pages. Now on the right side here, you have what's called the recent apps button. And this will show you all the apps that are currently running on the phone. Now I want to pause and I just want to explain to you, when I say the word apps, what does that mean? So think of like computers. Computers have programs, phones have apps or applications. We just say apps for short, but whenever I say apps, I'm referring to the programs that are on the phone. So computers have programs, phones have applications or apps for short. So in this menu here, I'm looking at all the apps that are currently running on the phone. You don't want to keep a lot of apps running because that can slow down the phone and it can eat up the battery. So the reason we would go to this menu is to either, hey, I want to go back to this app I was using earlier, or I want to close an app that I'm no longer using. So for example, I was using this earlier, I'm not using it now. I'm just going to drag up the screen to close it out, or swipe up. And I can continue to swipe to close out all these menus that I was using previously until everything is closed. And now all my apps are closed. Okay. Now, if I were to open up the phone app, okay, I use my home button to get back to the home screen. If I want to go back to the phone app later, I can tap on the icon here or tap on my recent apps button, and there it is. So I can just tap, and that's how I get right back to something I was working on maybe earlier. So that's a quick rundown of what these 3 buttons do. They are the primary buttons you'll use to navigate the phone. Okay. Now, next, let's go into what is called the notification panel. So earlier you saw me take my finger, bring it to the top of the screen and drag down. So this section of the phone is called the notification panel. So the different apps that you have, whenever they send you a message, you can see all of them in this notification panel area. So I'm getting a message here from the Metro service app, so I can tap here to see if there's some type of update with my service. If I get a text message, it's going to show up in this menu. If I have a missed call, it'll show up in this menu. If I have a message from Facebook, it'll show up in this menu. And so this is just one hub where all your notifications are going to come through, and you can easily just tap on a notification and it'll take you into that app so you can read it. Also, if you have emails, your emails will show up in here as well, any new emails. So most people check this section of the phone a lot because it's just how you keep up to date with all the new information that's happening with your phone. Okay. Now at the top of the screen, you will find what are called switches. These are shortcuts to the most frequently used options in the settings. So for example, if you wanted to connect to a Bluetooth speaker, you want to make sure your Bluetooth is turned on. If you notice here, this button is lit up in white and this button is basically darkened out. So my flashlight is off right now. My Bluetooth is on. If I tap on the Bluetooth icon and it goes dark, guess what? I've just turned off Bluetooth on the phone. If you are ready to use Bluetooth, we can simply tap on it to turn it back on. And if you have a Bluetooth device that you want to connect to, take your finger and hold down on that Bluetooth button for 1 second, and it will take you to the menu where you can then connect to a new Bluetooth device. I can tap on pair new device right here, and the phone will begin to look for any Bluetooth devices that are around me so I can connect to it. Speaker, Bluetooth earphones, you know, they'll show up in this menu. You'll tap on the item and then you pair it. What you'll also find in this menu by swiping down is the internet option. Now, press and hold to open this up here. Now, you use this section to make sure you're connected to your mobile cell service. I'm connected to Metro by T-Mobile and I have my 5G coverage connected. But hey, I also want to connect to a Wi-Fi network. Well, you want to make sure that this Wi-Fi switch is turned on. This is off, this is on. Once you turn it on, it will begin to look for all the Wi-Fi networks that are around you. So for example, when you get home, the first thing you want to do is connect to your home Wi-Fi network, and this will help to cut down on you using your mobile data. Once you find your network, you simply then need to just type in the password and hit the check to connect. You'll also use this if you're at a coffee shop and you want to connect to their Wi-Fi, or a Denny's restaurant, you're at a friend's house. Hey, what's your Wi-Fi password? You find the name of the network, put in the password, and then you're connected. So that's how you connect to Wi-Fi. So if you notice at the top here, all these important little switches are here to just make it easier for you to navigate the different settings of the phone. Now, here we have the mute button. This is a really important button because if you're trying to change the sound settings, this is what you would use. So tap on it. Now the phone has changed from mute to vibrate. If I get any incoming calls or notifications, the phone is going to vibrate. If I tap it again, now it says ring. When it says ring, that means that if someone calls, the phone isn't going to just vibrate, it's going to ring. If I get a text message, it's going to actually make a noise so that I have a new message. So this is how you toggle between the different sound settings. Mute obviously shuts all the sound off. So if you get a text, if you get an email, if you get a call, the phone is not going to ring, it's not going to vibrate. Vibrate is vibrate, and ring means that all the sound is on. Now, getting back to this menu here, if I swipe down a second time, it'll bring up more options. So you'll notice at the top of the screen, I have this little slider. This is to control the auto brightness. This is to control the brightness of the phone. So I can drag this down if I want the phone to be dimmer, or I can drag it up to make the screen even brighter. So you know what works best for you. You can manually set this to a brightness that is the best for your eyes. And then we can swipe over and you'll have some other switches to some other important setting shortcuts. So go through here to see all the different things you have available. I'll link a video right here too. This is my tips and tricks video, and it'll also go over how to customize this menu as well. So definitely check out that video. All right, let's hit our home button. Okay, next let's go over how to get to your apps. So one thing that's important I want to show you, when you swipe left on the home screen, you have other pages that you can get to. You can have multiple pages of basically shortcuts that are on your home screen. You know, whatever apps you use the most, you should have them on the home screen. If I swipe right, it takes me to my Google menu that will give me updates on news and also frequent things that I search. So this is a great way to just find new news stories and things that are happening around you, and also based on things that you search. Now, if I swipe up, it takes me to what is called the app drawer. This is where you'll find all the apps that are on the phone. Sometimes when you download a new app, it's not going to show up on one of these pages. But if you swipe up, this is where you'll find all of those apps. And you can scroll through and see this is every single app that's on the phone right now. You also have these folders. So this is your Google folder. And here you have a lot more apps that are inside of that one folder. Some of you guys might be looking for YouTube. It's buried in that folder. So this is a folder. This Metro by T-Mobile is also a folder. And you'll find select apps there as well. So that's where you'll find all the apps that are on the phone. Now, if you want to download a new app, you need to go to what is called the Play Store. This is where you'll find all the apps that are available for your phone. Now, before I get into that, I do want to pause and jump back to the home screen, and I just want to go over some of the apps that you see on this main screen here. So first, we have the phone app. This is where you'll go to make calls, and a little bit later we'll walk you through the process of how to make a call. Next is your text messaging app, your contacts, camera, and Google Chrome, which is your web browser. If you want to go on the internet, do a search, you go to Google Chrome, and you'll have to get through these initial settings here. And then at the top of the screen, you'll have a search box you can tap. You can begin to search for a website or just do a Google search for something general. Let's hit our home button to get back to the home screen. Now here you have your Photos app. This is where you'll find all the different photos that are stored on the phone. Now the app is asking for an update, so if you see that, just tap update and it will download the latest version of that app, okay? Now next, let's go over how to download new apps to your phone. So you're gonna go to that Play Store icon. Now, I have not signed into a Google account yet, so before I can download any apps, I have to sign into a Gmail or Google account. So I'm gonna hit the sign in button. Now, if you have a Gmail account or Google account, you'll simply just tap in the box here, put in your email address, hit next, put in your password, and then it will take you right into that Play Store. If you don't have a Gmail or Google account, no problem. You'll simply tap on the Create Account button, and then you'll follow the steps. So hit Create an Account. It'll ask you to put in your first name, last name, your age, and then it will help you to set up a Gmail account. Gmail is free, and it only takes about 2 minutes to set it up. You have to do this step or you won't be able to download any new apps on the phone. All right. Okay, so I put in my email address and my password and hit next. I'm agreeing to the terms, and then it's going to take me right to the Play Store. The Play Store is your one-stop shop for any apps or games that you would want to download to the phone. You'll also find books as well. All right, so now we're in the Google Play Store, and there's two ways to use this app. You either come here because there's a specific app you want to download, or you just want to find something new to play with on your phone, and then you go through here to see what apps are available. I'm going to show you the first option because most people only come here because there's a new app that they already know about that they want to download. I want to show you that part, and I'll show you a bit of how to navigate the store after. So at the bottom of the screen, if you tap on search, it'll bring up the search menu. You'll want to tap in this box that says search apps and games. Now there's two ways you can do this. You can tap in the box with your finger, and you can type the app like that and hit the magnifying glass in the corner to search. And look, there's the Uber app. The other way, which is the funner way, is simply tapping on this microphone in the upper right corner. You can tap on the microphone and just simply say the name of the app, and it will search it for you. Now, this comes in handy if you don't know how to spell the name of the app, right? But you know the name, you can just do this. Uber. There you go. Uber Eats. So you say the name of the app, it's going to come up. You can tap on it if you'd like to see more information about it first. You can look at pictures. You can tap on the pictures to get a closer look. Hit our back button to go back one step. And now I'm going to tap on this blue install button to download the app. Now, while it's downloading, I just want to point out a few things. That blue button said install, and I'll show you this example here. So this install button, right? It just says install. This is a free app. That's the point I'm getting at. It's a free app. If this app was not free, the blue button would not say install. The blue button would say $199, $299, $599. So just keep in mind that any app where it just says install, that means it's free. But if it doesn't say install, if it has a price, it means that it is a paid app and you do have to pay before you can download it. Okay. I also just noticed that I downloaded DoorDash and not Uber Eats. So now I'm going to download Uber Eats. Okay. So after you've hit the install button, it downloads the app, then it installs it. And now I can hit my home button and it will add the app to one of my home screen pages. So I can swipe over and I can find it here. You can also swipe up, check your app drawer, and you'll see that app show up in this menu as well. There is our new DoorDash app, and pretty soon you will see the Uber Eats app show up in this menu as well. So that's how you find the app after you download it. Now, let's go back to the Play Store. So maybe you don't know what you want to download. You just want to see what options are available. Notice I'm hitting the back button to just go back a few steps. I'm back on the main screen of the app. At the bottom of the screen here, you'll find different sections. You'll have a game section, general app section, offers, and books. So you can go to these different sections based on what you're trying to download. If you just want to find a fun game, tap on games. You can then go to top charts to look at what are the most popular games that are being downloaded right now. You can swipe over, you can find just kid games. You can find new games, premium games, which are games that are not free. Notice these all have prices underneath them. And then you have categories, and you can search based on categories. So that's a brief rundown of how to navigate the Play Store and how to, search for different apps for different games. And just play around in there, and you'll find so many great apps to download and try out. And you can always delete an app if you decide that you don't want it. In fact, let me show you how to do that now. Hit the home button. Let's swipe up. Maybe you realize, oh, you know what? I don't want this DoorDash app anymore. You're gonna hold down on it and then drag it up the screen, and notice this new menu has popped up. And I have to drop the app in the uninstall button. And then it will ask, do you want to uninstall this app? I'm gonna press OK. And just that fast, the app is now gone. If I swipe up, you'll no longer see it in the menu. So that's a brief rundown of how to download apps and just how to interact with them. Now next, let's go into how to make a phone call and also how to answer the phone when someone calls you. Okay, let's go to the phone app, which is right here. And the phone app has a few different sections. It has favorites, it has recent, and it has contacts. Okay. Now, you'll want to tap on this little icon here. This is your dialer. Tapping this will bring up the number keypad, and then you can type in the phone number that you want to call. So in this case, I'm going to call this number here. Put in the area code first, then the phone number. Tap the green button to start the call. There we go. Now you can tap this button to put the call on speaker. You can tap this button to add another call and do a three-way. And when you're all done, just simply tap on the red button to end the call. So making a call, super easy. And now that phone number is going to show up in your recent calls. It also makes it really easy for you to call that person back, because now I can just go over to that person's contact, tap on the phone, and then I can call that person again. So really easy to interact with those same phone numbers. Now I have a number right here that I called earlier. And if I want to save that number to my contacts, I'm going to tap on the number, and there's a button here for add contact. Tap add contact. The top of the screen, tap where it says create new contact. And then you'll want to put in their first name and last name. Tony Jones. Now, where it says saving to, you always want to change this. Tap on this arrow, change it to your Gmail account. The reason I say that is because if you ever lose this phone, your contacts will be backed up to your Google account. As soon as you sign into a new phone with your Gmail, all your contacts will be loaded into that new phone. This is a very easy way to make sure you never lose any of your contacts. Now, put in the first name, last name. I'm going to hit save. And now this number is saved into my phone, and it will make it easier for me to call that person later. Okay. Now, let's see what it looks like when someone calls you. Okay, so I'm initiating a call. It's going to come through right now. There we go. You're going to tap on this green button here to answer the call. And there you go. We're right into our call menu. Super easy. And when you're all done with the call, you obviously tap the red button to end it. Now, if you notice, a few other options have showed up that didn't show up for the other call that we made. So we can actually turn this into a video call, because this person also has Metro by T-Mobile service. So if you're calling someone that has Metro or T-Mobile, it looks like you can switch it right to a video call. So let's try that. Put the phone right here. So on the receiving end, now the phone is showing up where I can just swipe up. And now it has turned it into a video call, which is super cool. So if you see that video call icon, that's how you can convert the call into a video call, which is super easy, super cool. Let's go ahead and end the call by hitting that red button. Now, that is one way to answer the phone. I'm gonna make this call again. So this time, if we tap on that red button, decline, that's how we decline the call so that we don't have to answer it. Now, I'm gonna turn the screen off because oftentimes it looks different when a call comes through when you're not using the phone. So I wanna go over that as well. So this time the screen is asleep. A call is gonna come through. There we go. So this time you have to take your finger and you have to drag up, and that's how you answer the call. Okay, call one more time. Because to decline the call, you do the opposite. Instead of dragging up, you drag down like this. Okay, and that's how you decline the call. So notice it looks different, right? If you're using the phone, there's a little pop-up at the top of the screen that you'll see where you can hit answer or decline. But if you're not using the phone and someone calls, you have to swipe up the screen. So just make a mental note of that so that you don't get frustrated if a call comes through, because it's gonna look different depending on if you're using the phone or not using the phone, okay? And by the way, if you're getting value out of this video, please make sure you bump that like button down below. It definitely helps to push the video out so more people will see the video, and hopefully it will help them in just learning how to use their phone. So let's now move on and let's talk about how to send a text message and what all that looks like. So the text messaging app is right next to the phone app right here. We're gonna tap there. And basically, to start a new message, you would hit start chat. And from here, you can then type in a phone number or someone's name who's already in your contacts to send them a message. So I'm gonna type in Tony Jones. That was the number that we just saved. And it came right up. I can tap on that contact and now I can begin sending Tony a message. You know, hi, type your message. This is your send button that will send off the message. There you go. Now, if I want to send Tony a picture, I'm going to tap on this little picture icon next to the plus. And then I can see the last couple of videos and pictures I've taken. I'm going to send this picture. I'm going to just tap it. I can send multiple pictures by tapping on more than one. I think you can send up to 10 picture files depending on how big they are. Now, when you're finished, I can then tap in the box where it says add text, and then I can say, take a look. Take a look. And then hit my send button here to send it off. And now I've just texted Tony these 3 pictures. Now I can also send Tony a voice memo. Maybe I don't want to type out a message. I just want to send just a verbal message. I'm going to hold down this microphone. Hey, good morning, Tony. Hope you have a great day, buddy. Notice you do have to hold down the microphone until you finish talking. Once you let go of the microphone, it will stop recording the message. It's going to add it as a voice recording, and then I can hit this send button to send it off. Now, maybe you made that voice recording and it's really early in the morning and you don't want Tony to get this message until 8 a.m. I can hold down on that send button and then it will let me schedule when this message is going to be sent. I can say, hey, send this tomorrow at 8 a.m. Send this later on today. Or I can hit pick a date and time and pick a date. And then I can pick a time of when that message goes out. So that's how you schedule a message. And maybe you don't want to go out right now. I'm going to go ahead and just hit send so it just goes out. And then I can tap on that play button to hear the message. Now right now I have the sound turned down so you can't hear the message, but it's going to send a voice message. Now one more thing, there's a little plus to the left here. Hitting that plus will allow you to send other things. So a GIF, stickers, your location, maybe you're meeting at a restaurant, you can send your location, or a contact. These are all other things you can send. And one more thing that I think is important actually is, so there's two microphones here. I want you to pay attention to this. The top microphone is for sending a voice memo. The bottom microphone is for using the text to type feature. And so by hitting the microphone, instead of me typing the message, I can say the message and it will type it out for me. Just like this. So you'll tap it the first time, you'll have to give it permission. Let's tap it again. Hey, what time are you planning on coming by today? Question mark. Tap the microphone when you're finished talking. And look, it just typed out the whole message for me. Always double check and read it because it doesn't always get it perfectly, but proofread it. When you're done, hit that send off button, and now it just sent off the message. So that's a brief rundown of what it looks like to send a text message. Now I'm going to close out the text messaging app, and I want to show you what it looks like when someone sends you a message. So I just replied to one of those messages, and if you notice, there's a little dot that showed up right next to my, or right on top of my text messaging button. If I tap on that, now Tony responded to my message, and it says 3 p.m. See? 3 p.m. And any new messages will always go right to the top of the screen, okay? They'll always go right to the top, so you'll always know what was the last message that came through. All right, that was our text messaging app. Next, let's move into how to take pictures and just how to use the camera and where do you find the pictures after you take them, right? So the camera button is right here. And let's start with this button here. This is how you switch between the front camera and the rear camera. So if I switch it, now we're looking out of the front camera, the camera right here. And if I turn it around, now it's looking through the rear camera, okay? And if you want to take a picture, you just tap the shutter button, right? Tap the white button, it will take pictures. If you want to take a video, you do have to tap on the video button, and notice the button will change to a red dot. And so when we press the red dot, we'll begin recording, and you'll see it counting up here. Now, while you record, you can still take pictures by tapping the white button to the left. This will take still shots while you record your videos. You can pause during the recording and then start back just like that, and stop the recording by tapping on that red button. Okay, the next thing is you have this little 1X right above the shutter button. This is how you zoom in and out. So you can drag this to zoom in more or zoom out. There you go. Obviously, the more you zoom in, the more it gets a bit distorted, so be careful with that. And then you have this more button all the way to the right where you have some other camera options. Pretty cool. You have a slow motion, panorama, hyperlapse, you have macro, which is for those really close-up detail shots, and you have a Google Lens feature, which will allow you to take a picture of a picture with text, and you can pull the text right off the picture using that feature. So that's just a quick rundown of how to use the camera. Now, after you take a picture, if you want to see the picture you've taken, you can tap on this little square to the left. These will show you the last few pictures you've taken. Okay. And generally, if you just want to get to all the pictures that you've taken, you need to go to the Photos app. Hit Not Now. And here I can see all the pictures that I just took and the video. And you can swipe through, and you have options to edit, to delete. You have the share button here. You can send it out as a text message, out as an email, or to a social media app. So that's a brief rundown of just how to take pictures on the Revvl 7. The camera does a lot more, but I mainly just wanted to focus on just the basic things you need to know to get up to speed with using the camera. Okay, next, let's go over how to set a passcode on the phone so you can protect your information. we're going to swipe up on the home screen. Again, home screen, swipe up, and then swipe up again. Look for your settings. From here, we want to go up to security and privacy, and then tap set screen lock. And now you have to choose what type of lock you want to be on the phone. And it's sort of separated by aggressiveness. So a pattern is you just draw a pattern that you have to remember each time to unlock the phone. A pin is probably the easiest because it's just a number combination, and then you can set a more aggressive password with numbers and letters. I'm gonna just use the pin option, and let's make it, you can go between 4 and 6 digits, it's up to you. I'm gonna make it 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously make yours harder than that. I'm just making it easier for the sake of the video. Hit next, enter the password again, and then hit confirm. And now our password is set. We're gonna hit done. And now if I turn the screen off, turn it back on, if I try to swipe up the screen, it will not ask me to put in a code. Put our code in, hit the button, and now the screen is unlocked. Now, after you set that lock screen code, you can then set up your fingerprint sensor, and you can use the power button to unlock the phone like this. Go to where it says device unlock, screen lock, face, and fingerprint unlock. We'll tap on face and fingerprint. Now we'll have to put in our passcode. Next, tap on fingerprint. Hit more. I agree. Now, our sensor is right here. Take the phone, and I'm going to press with my thumb, just like this, and keep pressing and lifting. And every time you put your thumb back down, try to put your thumb back down in a slightly different way than before, because the phone is trying to learn your fingerprint and make sure that when you tap that button that it's always going to pick it up properly. Okay, and we're almost there. Again, try not to put your finger down the same way each time so it can learn your full fingerprint. Now, one recommendation I have is always add 2 fingerprints, one from your left hand, one from your right hand, so that if you have something on your fingers, you can just switch hands and unlock the phone, versus just only programming 1 fingerprint and then being stuck if you have an issue. So I'm not going to do it right now, but that's just my recommendation for you. Let's hit done. If you want to later add a fingerprint, just come back to this menu and just hit add a fingerprint. And that's how you secure your phone. Now next, let's go over how to make the text size larger. So you're going to go back to the settings. Now, because we recently opened up the settings, I can get there from pressing my recent apps button, just like this. Settings, see that? I'm going to use my back button to back out and get back to the main page, which is right here. So search settings. Okay, if we want to change the text size, we can swipe up and go to display. And then from here, we're going to go down to the appearance section and go to the display, size, and text. Now, we have a few different things we can adjust. First is the font size. So if I hit the plus, you'll see it's showing us here how the text size is getting bigger. Hit the plus again. Every time I press it, you'll see the icons get a little bit larger and the text gets a bit larger. Actually, the icons stay the same size, but the text gets bigger. So you'll want to play around with this until you find a size that is most comfortable for your eyes. Now next, you can make the display size larger as well. There you go. And you'll notice everything is getting much bigger. Now, if I hit the home button, you can see that now all the words are a lot bigger. If I go to the internet, Google Chrome, you'll notice the menus are even bigger. Everything is going to be a little bit bigger. Now, some of the websites are not going to get bigger. This is sort of the frustrating part, but it will make all the menus larger. It'll also make your text messages much larger as well, all those messages that we sent. Another little tip is when you're in text messages, you can pinch to make it bigger, so pinch out or pinch in to make them smaller. So that's just a quick and easy way to make things bigger or smaller. I'm going to go back to the settings. Oh, one more. So play around with these two options here, and that's how you can sort of adjust to find the right size to work for your eyes. Okay. All right. The very last thing I want to cover in the video is how to set up your email. Now, we've already put a Gmail on the phone, but you might have other email accounts. And so to add those other emails, first I want to show you how to do it using the Gmail app, and then I'll show you how to download other apps in case your email doesn't work with Gmail. So we have our Google folder here. I'm going to tap on that folder and go to Gmail. Now, right now I have this Gmail already on the phone. I can simply tap add another email. And these are all the different email types that are supported by Gmail. So if you have an Outlook, Hotmail, Live, Yahoo, you can tap on any one of these menus to sign into that specific email type. However, if you don't see your email type here, maybe you have an AOL or a Verizon.net, then here's a tip to find an app that is compatible with your email type. Hit the home button, go to the Play Store, tap on search, and this little tip here, if you tap that search button twice like this, 1, 2, it'll take you right to the keyboard. So here's what you want to do. Tap on the numbers in the bottom left corner and look for the @ symbol. Then tap on the ABC to get back to the letters. And however your email address ends, that's what you want to type. So I'm trying to find an app that works with AOL.com. So I need to type in AOL.com, and then I'm going to hit the magnifying glass to do a search. It's now going to recommend apps that are compatible with that email type. So I'm going to tap, oh look, the AOL app. Let's go ahead and install the AOL app. So now I can download the specific app from AOL and use that to sign in seamlessly with my email. If you have at sbcglobal.net, at verizon.net, you simply search for that. It'll give you apps that are compatible, and then you'll pick one to download and sign in with. Now, I'm going to give a quick rundown of just how to interact with your emails using the Gmail app. I'm going to hit take me in so I can get right into Gmail. Okay, so right now you can see these are some of the emails that have come through recently, and I can just pick one to open it and read it. Google Fitbit. Cool, I read this email. Now, if you've read the email and you don't plan on ever looking at this again, you'll want to hit the trash can and delete it. However, if it's an important email that you may want to find again in the future, you can hit this button, which is to archive it. It means that it's going to move it out of your inbox, but it's still going to save the email. It's going to move it to a folder called archived. So you decide if it's an email you want to look at later or not. I'm never going to look at this again. I'm going to hit the trash can to delete it. Now, some of these emails you might say, I don't need to open these. I don't care for them. No problem. Simply tap on the little circle next to the email. And this is how you select multiple emails to delete at one time. I'm going to delete those 5. And I'm going to hit the trash can. And just that fast, those are all deleted. Number one, how to bring up the Android buttons and turn the gesture mode off. You're gonna swipe down from the top of the screen, swipe down again and tap on your settings wheel. From here, you're gonna go up to the system option and then go to gestures. From here, you're gonna go to navigation mode and you're gonna switch it from gesture navigation to 3-button navigation. This will bring up the traditional Android buttons and make it a lot easier for you to use the phone. Make sure you bump that like button down below if that was helpful. Number two, let's talk about how to run 2 apps at one time. So first, I wanna have YouTube at the top of the screen, and at the bottom, I wanna have my text messaging menu. To do this, I'm going to go to my YouTube app, which is here. I'm going to open it up. From here, I'm going to tap on the recent apps button. And at the top of the screen, look for the YouTube icon, tap on the icon, and then tap on split screen. And then I can pick another app to add to the bottom. And here I have my messaging app already open. I'm going to tap there. And now I have YouTube at the top. And at the bottom, I have my messages. Now, I don't have a video playing right now, but I can easily find a video to play. Let's type in H2Tech, because of course, what other video would we want to play? Turn our volume down. Let's play this video here. So the video has started. I can tap on the video and I can put it in full screen by tapping on this little square in the right corner. There we go. Now my video is playing and I can interact with my text messages. I can start a new message if I want to. I can do all that while this video is playing. You can also take the phone and rotate it in the landscape position and look for in the corner this little arrow to rotate the screen. Now, I missed it, so let's try it again. Watch this. I'm going to take the phone. I want you to pay attention to the bottom right corner because that's going to allow us to rotate the screen, okay? So watch this. Rotate. This arrow is here. Tap on that arrow, and that's what allows you to rotate the screen. My video is still playing, and over here, I can start teeing up my text message. So that is just a snapshot of how you use 2 apps at one time on your Revvl 7. Now, when you're done with your split screen and you want to go back to full screen, you see that little white bar in the center of the screen? Just take your finger and just drag. Or if you tap it, it will switch what is on one side to the other. Now, one more thing, if you tap on this little white bar in the center twice, it will let you switch what's on one side to the other. And when you're all done and you want to get out of split screen, just take your finger and drag it to the right on the white bar, and that will take you out of the split screen. All right. And that's how you use 2 apps at one time. And I can swipe up from the bottom here to get to my home buttons. Press the home button. Now, this moves right into our next tip, which is how to make a video into a pop-out video. So right now, my YouTube video is still playing and it's on the screen. And to do this, it's a little tricky, so let me explain. If you're on a YouTube video and you want to continue to watch it outside of YouTube, as long as the video is playing, you can hit your home button and it will keep playing in this little pop-up video. You can also pinch. You can also drag with a little pinch to make this video bigger. And that video can continue to play while I go to Google Chrome or while I do other things. That video will continue to live on the screen while I do other things. So again, pinch to make it smaller or pinch out to make it bigger. And that's how you use the pop-out video. Now, one important thing to note, if the video is paused and you try to do this, it won't work. So because it's paused, if I hit the home button, guess what? The video is not going to show up in that pop-out. It's only going to do that if the video is playing. So now the video is playing again. It's playing. Now I hit the home button. Now it'll show up in that little pop-out screen. All right. You can also tap on the screen here and you can tap on the X to close it out as well. So that's the pop-out video. It's another way to multitask as well. If you're getting value out of the video, make sure you bump that like button down below. By the way, let's jump into our next tip. So if you've noticed, my screen keeps going dim because the phone is set right now. If I don't touch the screen every 15 seconds, the phone is going to dim and it's going to go to sleep. That's frustrating to me. It just did it right now. Let's talk about how to change that setting so your screen stays on longer. We're going to swipe down from the top of the screen, swipe down again, tap on the settings wheel. This time we want to go to display, and from there go to screen timeout and change this from 30 seconds to at least 2 minutes or 5 minutes. This way your screen will not go off so fast. You can also enable the screen attention, and this will prevent your screen from turning off if you're looking at the screen. So the front camera essentially is looking at your eyes to determine if you're looking at the screen, and if so, it'll keep it on even longer than 2 minutes. I would encourage you to enable that as well. Let's hit our home button, and now our screen will stay on a little bit longer. Next, let's go over a really fun tip, which is how to launch your camera from any screen, even if your phone is off. So tapping the power button 2 times will automatically launch your camera, okay? Right now it's on the rear camera. There we go. So no matter what I'm doing, I could be in a text message, it doesn't matter. If I double tap that power button, it's gonna launch my camera. Now, if my screen is off, same thing. Double tap the power button, it'll automatically turn on and it'll go right to the camera. This is called the quick launch camera feature. So super helpful. I use this all the time, and this is available on all Android phones. You just have to know that it exists, and you'll never miss any important moments because you don't have to worry about grabbing your phone and unlocking. Just simply grab your phone, double tap the power button, and you're right at the camera. All right. Next, I want to show you how to get your battery percentage to show up on your home screen. It's always nice to know exactly how much battery you have left, and also if it's time to charge. So swipe down from the top of the screen, swipe down again, tap on your settings wheel. From here, go to battery, and then enable battery percentage. Now, you'll always know how much battery you have, even on the lock screen. Next, let's go over how to launch that Google Assistant. You can simply hold down on your home button. This will launch the Google Assistant, and you can ask the assistant to do so many cool things for you. So I want to show you a few of the ways that I use the Google Assistant. So one, I love to use it for setting alarms for the next day. You know, it's midnight, you're about to go to sleep. Set an alarm for 8 a.m. There you go. It'll automatically set an alarm for you. You can also tap open alarms to go into the app to confirm that the alarm was set. And there we go. There's our alarm. I also love to use it for setting timers, especially with my laundry, for example. So set timer for 62 minutes. There we go. Now I have a timer that has started and will let me know when it's time for me to switch my laundry to, the dryer. Okay. Another really fun, useful use for the Google Assistant is launching an app. Maybe there's an app you can't find on your phone. You can simply ask your Google Assistant to launch it for you like this. Open the YouTube app, and it'll open it for you as well. So there's so many uses. There's hundreds of uses for Google Assistant, but those are the 3 main ways that I use Google Assistant. So okay, this next tip is one of my favorites. This is how to share large video files or picture files. Maybe you're at a family function and you just took a family picture. Or video, and now you want to share it with everyone that's around you, but the file size is too large or there's too many pictures to share at one time. Well, you can use what is called Quick Share to be able to share this picture out to anyone that is in close proximity to you. So to do this, you're going to swipe down from the top of the screen, swipe down again, and swipe to your left. You're going to tap on the Quick Share icon right here. Now, first thing you want to do is tap on who can share with you, and you'll want to turn this on, and set it to everyone. And so the way this works is it only will be visible, your phone will only be visible to everyone around you for 10 minutes. You'll have to come back and turn it back on again for safety purposes. So, but set it to everyone, hit done, hit continue. Now you hit allow. And this is what you do for the first time, but after it's going to be easier. So you have to give it permission to use your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, because it's going to search for all of the different phones that are around you so then it can share out to those different phones. So we hit allow, we're going to hit close. Now I want to go to the file that I want to share. In this case, I have this large video file that is too big to send over text message or email, but I can send it directly using quick share. So I'm going to hold down on this video. So it's checked. I'm going to hit the share button now. And I'm going to look for that quick share icon. Tap on quick share. Tap on turn on Bluetooth. And now it's going to begin to look for all of the devices that are around me to find devices that it can share with. Now right here I have another phone, and so you'll want to tell the people around you, hey, turn on your quick share. So on this phone, I simply just swipe down, swipe to the left, I look for the quick share menu, and all I have to do is do the same thing. Who can I share with? Turn it on and tap everyone and hit done. Now the phone is going to show up. There it is, A1's phone, and I'm going to tap. It just popped up, and I'm going to hit accept. So you simply need the people around you to turn on quick share and make sure that excuse me, the visibility is set to everyone, and then you'll be able to see their phone and send multiple files. So in this case, we sent one large video file, but you can also go through and you could select 50 pictures if you wanted to. Let me just tap open here, and there's our video file. So what I also could have done is I could have gone to my photos and selected multiple pictures. I don't have a lot in here, but I could arguably send all these files at one time. Same thing, share, quick share, and then I can tap the phone again to share it out. And if you notice, because I've shared with that phone already, it's gonna now, my phone is gonna remember that. So now it's showing up as an option. If I wanna send more files, I can just tap here versus having to go to quick share and do it that way. So this is how you share a lot of files at one time, or a large file with folks that are in the same room as you. One final note, just about all Android phones have quick share now and can be accessed by swiping down twice from the top of the screen and just trying to find it in the menu up here. Okay, it's just gonna say quick share. Okay, next I wanna show you how to customize your notification menu. Now, when I say notification menu, I'm referring to the little switches you see at the top of the screen here. Every time you swipe down, you're gonna have these 4 options. And if you swipe down again, you'll have even more options. And when you swipe left, you have a few other switches. These are shortcuts to the most frequently used settings menu options. And there's more than what you see here. There's a couple you have so far. These are kind of the main ones that people use. But if you tap on this pencil here, you'll see that as you swipe down, you can add even more options to that menu up there. For example, you can add your hotspot shortcut. So for example, I can hold down on hotspot and just drag it up, and I can add it to that menu. So now when I swipe down, I'll always see my hotspot shortcut. This is important, especially if you use hotspot, because it's so much easier to get to it and turn it on and off now that it's at the top of the menu here. As we scroll down, there's a few more really cool ones. One of them is called focus mode, which is one of my favorites. Helps me be productive during the day. So I'm going to hold down on this, drag it up, and I'll show you how to use it in a minute. So we'll bring it up. We're going to just drop it in this menu here. And another important thing to note, the first 4 switches are the ones that you'll always see when you swipe down. So when I swipe down, I'm going to see internet, mute, Bluetooth, and airplane mode. Well, guess what? If you don't fly a lot, then having airplane mode here really is not that helpful for you. So let's put something there that would be more helpful for you. So I'm going to swipe down, and I would rather have my flashlight in this menu, because if I grab my phone and it's late and I just need to see, I know I can swipe down and my flashlight will be right there. So watch this. Tap the pencil and then hold down your flashlight and just drag it up in that spot, and now the flashlight will be at the top. So every time I swipe down, my flashlight will be one of the 4 options. Okay, so you can customize these menus based on what apps you use the most, and just keep in mind the first 8. When you press the pencil here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever you put in this first 8 is going to show up when you swipe down twice. And then the next 8 are going to be when you swipe over. So that's just a quick rundown of this menu and how to really customize the phone to have exactly the things that you use the most. And anything below where it says hold and drag to add tiles, these are the ones that are not showing, but that you can add to that menu if you choose. So anything else in here I would add, I might add the bedtime mode. So you can hold down here and just drag this all the way up. And as long as it's above where you see drag here, then you're going to see it in that menu. So go through. Another one is location. Let's drag that one up too. And the reason I say that is because I don't keep my GPS on all the time, because that's a bigger drain on your battery. So I like to have that as a switch. So watch this. Now I'm going to swipe down again, swipe to the left, swipe to the left. So now location is going to show up, and guess what? I can turn this off, because hey, maybe I'm not going to be using my Google Maps for a while. So hey, I'm going to turn off my GPS, and therefore it's going to help me preserve my battery life a lot more. And guess what? When it's time for me to go somewhere and I have to use my GPS, okay, I know I can just get right to it, and I can just simply turn it back on to use it for that time. So that's just one of my personal tips that helps me get a lot more battery life. Okay. Now, moving on, I want to show you how to turn on the power saving mode. This is something really important to keep in mind. If you know you're going to be at an event all day and you're not going to have access to a charger, you should proactively turn on power saving so that your battery will stretch much longer. So to do this, you're going to swipe down from the top of the screen, swipe down again, swipe to your left, and then you'll just tap on battery saver, and now it's going to automatically turn on. Now normally this will come on when your phone hits, I think, 10% or 15%, but you don't want to wait that late. You don't want to wait until your battery is super low for this to turn on. You really want to have this come on a much sooner, especially if you're going to have a long day. And what this is going to do is it's going to turn off some of the background functions that are always running. It's also going to switch your phone to the dark mode, and that's going to preserve some battery as well. So everything is to preserve the battery so it'll stretch a lot longer, and this way it'll just make it through a longer stretch of the day for you. So that's my little pro tip. That's how I make sure that when I'm out all day, my battery never dies. All right. If you got value out of this video, make sure you hit that like button down below. Okay, my last tip is I want to show you how to turn the phone off. Now, there's 2 ways to do this. Now, one is swiping down from the top of the screen, swipe down again, and a power button will show up at the bottom of the screen right here. Now notice, when you swipe down just one time, the button is not there. The button only shows up when you swipe down 2 times. And there's our power button. We can tap it, it'll bring up this menu, and then you can simply tap that power off button to turn off the phone. Now, if you try to hold down on your power button, guess what? It's not going to turn off, because the phone is set where when you hold the power button, it launches the Google Assistant. So we can change this though by going into the settings. So let's swipe down again, tap on settings. We're going to go up to system, and from here go to gestures, and then go to press and hold power button. We can change this to, instead of launching the assistant, have it launch the power menu, which I think this makes more sense because it's just easier to get to this. So now when you press and hold the power button, oh, that was the volume button. Let's try again. Press and hold power button. Now it's going to take you right to your power menu instead of launching the Google Assistant. So you are able to customize this to what makes more sense to how you use your phone. I recommend switching it so that it powers off the phone or allows you to restart the phone. All right. How to add a memory card to your Revvl 7. And also I want to show you some helpful tips and tweaks that you'll want to make once you insert the memory card. So let's go ahead and we're going to grab our SIM tool, which you'll find in the box of your phone. Now, if you've already thrown away the box of your phone, no problem. Simply go find a paper clip and just bend it back, and you can use that tip to pop out your SIM card tray. Now on this phone, you'll find the tray on the left side of the phone, closer to the top. There's a little hole. You're gonna put the tip just like that and just give it one good push to pop out the tray. You have your SIM card here, and then right under it you have the tray for the memory card. Now, I'll be using a Samsung 128 gig micro SD card. I do want to stress, do not buy cheap memory cards. Cheap memory cards tend to malfunction much sooner. And if it malfunctions, guess what? You lose all the data you have saved on that chip. So please, please, please get a quality brand like a Samsung, SanDisk, PNY, or Seagate. You want to go with like a well-known brand, and that will give you a much better chance at nothing happening to the memory card. I'll link a few on screen and in the description as well. There's also some amazing deals where you can get, 128, 256, 512 gigs of storage for under 50 bucks. So I'll link those below, but just make sure you buy a quality memory card. You're gonna pop it in and just push. Give it a few seconds for the phone to read the memory card. Okay, now we're gonna swipe down from the top of the screen, and we should see a pop-up that says the memory card was inserted. So here it says Samsung SD card for storing photos, videos, and music. We can tap on this little arrow, this drop down, and tap on Explore. So this is a good sign. This is showing us that the phone is reading the memory card, which is great. It means it's working. And we can now open with the Files app just once. Now, this is just allowing us to see all the files that are already on this memory card. Let's go home and let's swipe up and go to our settings. And we're gonna go to storage. And here, we're gonna tap on where it says this device and switch to disk. And this is showing us what is on the memory card. So the memory card has 71 gigabytes used. I've used this on some other phones. So we can use this as a gauge just to see how much storage we have. Okay, so now that that's done, we've confirmed that the memory card is installed. We've confirmed how much storage we have available. Next, we're gonna hit the home button and we're gonna go to the camera, because now we want this pop-up to allow us to change the settings. So every time you take a picture or a video, you want it to now save to that memory card and to keep your phone storage freed up. So perfect. The first time you open the camera, it's gonna say change storage location. An SD card has been inserted. You have space and internal storage by making your SD card the default location. Burst shots will still be saved in internal storage. Okay, so basically we're just gonna press OK. And now, every time we take a picture, it's gonna save to our memory card. Let's give it a shot right now. I'm gonna snap a picture of that. And let's hit the home button. Let's go to our Photos app. Okay, so now you'll see that I have a new folder that's been created. So I have a camera folder, and it has this little memory card icon to the right. And this is showing me these are all the pictures that are from the memory card. And at the top, I have another camera folder, and these are the videos and pictures that are saved on the internal phone storage. That's just how you differentiate what is on the memory card versus on the internal storage. Now, the last thing is I want to show you how to move a file from the internal storage to the memory card. This will help you to free up some of your space. You always want to have a lot of space on your phone storage, because when the phone storage fills up, the phone begins to run slower. So you always want to keep the phone with a decent amount of space so it doesn't run slow. Okay, let's swipe up, and we're going to find the Files app, which is right here. Hit continue, swipe up, and we're going to go under storage devices. We're going to go to internal storage. Look for the DCIM folder. This is the folder where all your pictures and videos are saved. Go to camera, and there's 2 video files here, and I want to move both of these over to my memory card so I can just free up space. So I want to hold down on this file here for 1 second, and it's going to select it. And now I can select the one underneath as well. In the upper right corner, tap on these 3 dots, and I'm going to tap on move to, and now I want to tap on SD card. And now it's asking me, okay, find a folder to move it to. I want to move it to the DCIM folder. And I'm just going to hit move here. Or actually, let's go to camera. There's a camera folder that says 4 minutes ago. Tap there. Give it a second to load. You can probably, yeah, okay. And now let's tap move here. Took just a few seconds to do it. And that's it. Now our files have been moved from the internal storage, and now we're gonna find them on our memory card. So we're gonna hit the back button here. Now I'll go to SD card, DCIM, and then go to camera. And our 2 video files are now in this folder that has a bunch of other pictures as well. If I hit the home button and I go to my Photos app, you'll see that my camera folder is gone now because I only had 2 files that were in that folder, and we just moved those 2 files into this camera folder, and now we're only seeing what is saved to the memory card. So that's the process of moving your files over from the internal storage to the micro SD card. All right. So I hope you guys found that helpful. And today I want to show you how to take a screenshot on the Tmobile Revvl 7 phone. What you're going to do is hold down on the power and the volume down button for 1 second, just like this. Power, volume down. We're going to press at the same time. 1, 2, 3, press. And that will trigger a screenshot. Tap on that little image you see in the corner, and then it will allow you to edit that screenshot that you've taken. So I can swipe through the bottom here for some different options. So crop, I can then drag on the little bubbles in the corner to shrink down my screenshot. I can adjust the color, I can add filters. If you go to markup, it'll allow you to write on the image, or you can add text as well. You know, type hello. And when you're done, you tap done and tap save, and then it will save it right to your gallery. Now, on this phone, the gallery is the Google Photos app. So we're going to tap on Photos, and here you'll see are all my screenshots. Next, I want to show you how to print a picture from the phone. So we took a screenshot. Now let's look at how would we print that screenshot if we needed to. Okay, so first thing is make sure your Wi-Fi is turned on. Swipe down from the top of the screen where it says internet. Go ahead and tap on internet and turn your Wi-Fi on. If you haven't already done so, you'll want to find your Wi-Fi network, and you'll just tap on the network to enter your password, type it in, hit the check mark box, and then it will connect to your home network. I'm already connected to a network, So I didn't need to do it, but that's how you do it in case you haven't already connected to a network. Now, next, let's hit the home button and let's go to our Photos app again. Go to Library, tap on Screenshots, and I'm just gonna pick this one here. Let's say I want to print this particular picture. Okay, make sure your printer is turned on, and obviously make sure your printer is connected to your Wi-Fi network. We're gonna go to the upper right corner, tap on the 3 dots. We're then gonna slide this menu over to get to the print button, hit print, tap on select a printer, and here's my Canon printer showing up. I'm gonna tap on that, and I can simply hit this button to start printing, but I would encourage you before you do that, hit this drop down button and make sure all your settings are aligned properly. For example, do you want it to print in color or black and white? Do you want it in portrait or landscape? And also, how many copies do you want? Tap in the box here, you can change the number of copies. You can also hit more option, and you have some even more things that you can download as well. Now, when you've aligned all your settings to how you want it, then you hit this button to start the print. Press OK, and that's it. So that's how you print a picture. Now next, let's talk about how to print an email. So let's go to the Gmail app right here. Gmail folder or Google folder, go to Gmail. Let's find an email that we want to send. Let's send this Apple email. Go to the upper right corner, tap on these 3 dots, and come down to print. You're gonna follow those same steps, except your Canon or whatever printer you have should already show up here, so you don't have to keep hitting add a printer or select a printer. Hit that same button to print it. Now notice this email is 11 pages. Do you want to print 11 pages? It's up to you, but maybe you say, oh, I don't need these last 2 pages. So uncheck them. In the bottom right, there's a check. You'll want to tap those little check marks to uncheck it. So go through and make sure you select which pages you need to cut down on wasting your ink. When all that's done, then we can hit the button to print it. Now, lastly, let's go over how to print a web page. Let's go to Google Chrome, and let's say I wanted to print this page. In fact, let's find something more appealing that someone would probably want to print. Let's go to Amazon, and let's just select this Echo device, and let's go here. Maybe you wanted to print this out because you want to show someone why they want to buy this. All right, so from here, there's a little arrow in the right corner. You'll tap on that arrow. And I have a Chrome update, so I need to do that. Also, notice you don't see a print option anywhere on the screen. So in this case, you need to tap on the share button. And from here, then you'll see an option under here that says print. Tap there. And then it will begin to load a preview. If it's a long web page, it will take a minute for the preview to show up. So just be patient and let it load. Once it loads, same thing, go through. Notice if I print now, this is 17 pages. So, uncheck the pages you don't want to print, and then you're gonna hit that print button to send it off. And that's it. Today I want to show you what to do if your Revvl 7 phone is freezing or not working properly. You can trigger what's called a soft reset or a force restart that will just shut the phone off and turn it right back on again. So you want to hold down on the power and the volume up button until the screen completely shuts off, okay? It should take about 10 seconds. So take your hand, swing it around the phone. You're gonna place your hand on volume up and power and press them together. 1, 2, 3, hold. You will see this menu pop up. Continue to hold the buttons until the screen shuts off. And it should happen any minute now, or any second now. There we go. So it took about 10 seconds. And just like that, the phone will just kick off, turn right back on. And usually if you have an app that is glitching or even an issue with the software, this will just, again, shut everything down, turn it right back on. You don't have to worry about losing any of your data. It's not gonna erase anything from the phone. It's just gonna turn the phone off and turn it back on again. That's it. Now, if this does not fix your problem, then you probably have a bigger issue that could be related to your screen. So my follow-up question to you would be is your screen cracked or does it have any physical damage? Because if so, you could have an issue with your actual phone. It could be a hardware issue. This will not fix hardware issues. It'll only fix software issues. So if at this point the touchscreen is still not working properly, I would encourage you to take your phone to your local cell phone repair shop and have them take a look at it and give you an estimate of what it would cost to replace the screen. All right, today I want to show you how to reset your Tmobile Revvl 7 phone back to factory settings. What you'll need to do is swipe down from the top of the screen, swipe down again and tap on the settings wheel. From here, you want to swipe up and go to your accounts and passwords, or passwords and accounts. Tap on your Google account and you need to remove it. You need to remove all Google accounts that are currently on the phone. And the reason you do that is because the Google account is what locks the phone to you. So if you're planning on returning the phone to T-Mobile, you need to remove the Google account. If you're gonna sell the phone, you need to remove the Google account. If you're gonna give it to a family member, you need to remove your Google account. You need to make sure that your account is not linked to the phone or it will screw it up for the next person to be able to use the phone. They won't be able to because they will need your Gmail password. Let's hit our back button now. And now we're gonna swipe up and go to System, and then Reset Options, and then we'll go down to Erase All Data, Factory Reset. Now, this is the last step. You're gonna tap on Erase All Data. Once you press that, it's gonna begin to reset the phone. And after that, there's no way to recover anything that you've done or have stored on the phone. So make sure before you do this that you have transferred all your appropriate pictures and files and that you don't have anything else important, because once it's done, there is no going back. All right. I'm not going to hit the button because I don't want to reset the phone, but I wanted to just show you what the process is to do it. So if you got value out of the video, make sure you hit that like button down below. If you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more videos. Take care, and as always, have a good one.